Most people think intelligence is something you're born with, a number on a test, a score on an exam, or a gift only a few people have. But psychologists say something very different. Your mind isn't revealed by the big moments. It's exposed by the tiny habits you repeat every single day. And the disturbing part? These habits don't just make you seem less sharp. Over time, they reshape your brain in ways that weaken your thinking, your discipline, and even your identity. Superstitious logic. Some people live like the universe is a vending machine. Wear the lucky shirt, avoid the bad street, follow rituals that make no sense. It feels harmless, cute even. But when your brain starts confusing coincidence with causation, you stop thinking critically. Something good happened once, so you cling to the superstition forever. Real intelligence demands evidence. Low-level thinking trades evidence for comfort and calls it intuition. Destroying your sleep. You tell yourself you're built different. You function on 4 hours. You grind all night. But the brain doesn't negotiate. Sleep loss cripples memory, wrecks focus, and buries your ability to think clearly. After a single night of poor rest, your cognitive performance tanks. Smart people protect sleep like a secret weapon. Pretending you're fine without it isn't strength, it's self-destruction. Fear of solitude. Some people can't handle quiet. No music, no show, no noise. They panic. Silence means meeting their own thoughts, and that terrifies them. But solitude is where real thinking happens. Reflection, planning, creative problem solving. If you can't sit alone for 10 minutes without grabbing your phone, it's not social behavior. It's distraction masquerading as personality. Conversations with no depth. There are people who talk non-stop but never say anything. Weather, traffic, crazy day today. It's endless verbal filler. Small talk is fine, but if that's all you can bring, it signals a lack of curiosity. People with strong minds want to explore ideas, perspectives, possibilities. People avoiding real thinking cling to the shallow end because it's easy, safe, and predictable. Confidence without competence. We all know the person who speaks the loudest but understands the least, interrupts everyone, declares themselves an expert. But as soon as you listen closely, there's nothing underneath. Psychologists call this the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less someone knows, the more they believe they know everything. True intelligence shows up in humility. I don't know. Teach me. Fake intelligence shouts to hide the emptiness. Obeying rules without question. Some people treat instructions like holy scripture. If the manual says turn left, they'll turn left even if it leads off a cliff. If the recipe says 20 minutes but the food is raw, they'll still eat it. That's not discipline. It's mental laziness. Smart thinkers adjust when reality disagrees. Blind obedience is a shortcut for people who don't want to think. Conspiracy thinking and superstition. Flat Earth, astrology disasters, hidden microchips, mystery forces controlling everything. Conspiracies feel exciting because they offer simple answers to complicated problems, but simple stories are not truth. Intelligent minds double-check facts. They investigate. Weak minds accept the first dramatic explanation that feels emotionally satisfying. And the danger? Superstitions replace problem solving, and nothing improves. Rigid thinking. Some people refuse to adapt. That's how it's always been. That's not how I do things. They reject new tools, new approaches, new ideas, not because they're bad, but because they're unfamiliar. Psychologists call this mental rigidity. And in a world that changes every second, rigidity punishes you. Flexible minds evolve. Stubborn ones get left behind. Chasing instant rewards. Scroll, snack, swipe, repeat. Every small hit of dopamine trains your brain to avoid any effort that doesn't pay off immediately. The marshmallow experiment proved it decades ago. People who couldn't delay gratification struggled later with finances, education, and health. Intelligent people tolerate temporary discomfort for bigger goals. People stuck in instant pleasure loops sabotage their future without noticing. Terrible listening. Interrupting, zoning out, waiting to speak instead of absorbing what's being said. Poor listening isn't just rude, it's a thinking problem. Listening forces your brain to process new ideas, new perspectives, new information. People who can't follow a complex conversation often hide it by tuning out. Smart minds stay curious. Untrained minds assume they already know everything. Automatic rejection. That's stupid. That won't work. That idea is crazy. Some people reject new ideas before thinking for even 1 second. That's not wisdom. It's mental laziness disguised as experience. Intelligent people listen first, evaluate second. People afraid of thinking dismiss everything up front because it's easier than engaging with something new. Mindless consumption. Scrolling for hours, binge watching until the sun comes up, endless stimulation with zero intention. Entertainment isn't the problem. Losing control is. Constant input destroys attention span and rewires your brain to crave quick hits of dopamine. Strong minds balance pleasure with growth. Weak minds drown in distraction and call it relaxing. Identity by trends. New shoes every week, new slang every month, new personality every time a trend appears. This isn't self-expression, it's identity outsourcing. Humans copy others to feel safe, but when your preferences change every time the crowd does, what's left of you? Intelligent people ask, do I genuinely want this? Trend-chasing minds ask, will this make me fit in? Repeating the same mistakes. Some gamers play for years and never improve. Hours on the screen, zero growth. The problem isn't the game. It's the refusal to analyze, adapt, learn. Time spent doesn't equal progress. Reflection equals progress. Intelligent minds refine strategies. Untrained minds repeat the same errors and blame everything but themselves. Here's the truth. Intelligence isn't a birthright. Your daily habits shape your cognitive strength. Keep the wrong habits long enough, and your brain adapts to stay stuck, unfocused, reactive, shallow. Break them, and your thinking becomes sharper, clearer, more powerful. Most people will hear this, feel a spark of motivation, and then scroll away into the same behaviors that keep them average. But if you're the rare person who actually wants to rewire how your mind works, if you want the psychology that hits hard and changes how you think, then don't just watch, subscribe. Every week, I break down the raw psychological truths people avoid but desperately need.